Peace and grace to you, beloved soul. You're not here by accident. You didn't just stumble upon this message. Heaven has appointed this exact moment for you to receive what your spirit has been quietly aching for. There is something stirring in the unseen, something holy and specific to your situation. The ache, the confusion, the unanswered why. It's all about to be spoken into by the divine. Heaven is speaking to you now, right now, in this very breath. The message is tender, but bold, painful, but healing, and it is reaching for the part of you that still remembers what it feels like to be loved, and to be wounded by love. You've felt forgotten. You've wondered if justice would ever come. You've questioned if the one who wronged you even noticed how deep the damage was. But listen, heaven has something to say about it. The angels have gathered. Your heart is being addressed. If this resonates in the quiet parts of your soul, type, I receive in the comments. Because what's coming next was divinely sent just for you. Angels say the person who wronged you, the very one who broke your trust, misjudged your heart, and walked away as if it meant nothing, is now facing the weight of what they did. But here's the mystery your soul has already sensed. They still love you. Yes, even now. Through the silence. Through the distance. Through the karma unfolding in their life like waves crashing against everything they once clung to. They carry a love for you that won't die. Your spirit knows this. That's why you felt that sudden heaviness, the strange longing, the inexplicable shift in the atmosphere. That's why their name still stirs your chest, even when you try to silence it. Heaven is revealing something deep and tender, not to confuse you, but to free you. You are not crazy for still feeling connected. You are not weak for wondering what they're going through. The bond, though broken, has never truly disappeared. This message is not about rekindling pain. It's about revealing truth, sacred truth, so your healing can finally take root in a place of divine understanding. Pause and breathe. Let that settle. You are hearing this now because your angels have waited for the right moment. You've walked through a season of silence and shaking. The kind of pain that doesn't always leave visible scars, but carves its way into the hidden corners of your heart. You gave your trust, your time, your tenderness, and in return, you were met with misunderstanding, betrayal, or distance. You've questioned everything. Was it your fault? Did you love too much? Were you too open, too kind, too available? The truth is deeper than blame. Heaven says what you've endured wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You weren't being rejected. You were being refined. Every tear you've cried was seen. Every moment of restlessness in the night was heard. The ending didn't happen because you were unworthy. It happened because you were being positioned for something purer, something holy, something that couldn't be built on broken trust or unequal energy. You didn't lose. You were led away from what couldn't hold you, led into a deeper alignment with your purpose and your identity in the eyes of God. Isaiah says, For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Let that be your comfort. Let it remind you, none of this has been in vain. Heaven wants you to understand something sacred. You didn't lose people. You were cleared for alignment. What left was not your foundation. What walked away was not meant to walk with you into your becoming. There's been a divine rearrangement. The shaking, the separation, the silence. It was not punishment. It was protection. You've been positioned, not abandoned. You've been preserved, not overlooked. The angels moved things around because your heart is too precious to be mishandled any longer. There is a restoration coming that requires clean space, space free of confusion, free of dishonor, free of manipulation. So heaven stepped in, not to harm, but to heal. That person who once broke your heart is now being confronted by truth, not just about you, but about themselves. They are seeing clearly now what they couldn't understand before. And you are being prepared. God is not only removing what couldn't stay, He is making room for what is truly yours. He is shifting timelines, reordering paths, and making sure that when love returns, it is whole, it is holy, and it is healed. This isn't chaos. This is coordination. This is heaven at work, on your behalf. You've been noticing subtle signs, moments that seem too specific to be random, a name that echoes more than once, a song that stirs something deep, a dream that wakes you with their face still fresh in your memory. Or maybe it's just a quiet whisper inside, telling you that something is aligning, even if you can't see it yet. Beloved, these are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Heaven has been gently placing markers along your path, urges to revisit a certain place, a sudden pull in your spirit toward prayer, reflection, or stillness, a restlessness that makes no sense, unless you understand that your spirit is being called into position. Psalm says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and He delighteth in His way." You are not walking alone. You are being divinely guided. Even the delays are direction. Even the silence is sacred. What once felt random is now revealing divine rhythm, and what once felt like separation is now showing itself to be sacred setup. Let that settle in your chest. You're not imagining the shifts. You're being spiritually prepared for alignment. One sign, one step, one divine whisper at a time. There have been moments when you've questioned your worth, not just because of what they did, but because of how long it's taken to feel whole again. You've wondered if you were too much, too emotional, too sensitive, too deep. But let this be a sacred reminder. You are not too much. You are just enough for the one who's meant to hold your heart with honor. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt by the hands of heaven. You are not behind. You are right on time in God's divine unfolding. That ache in your chest, heaven sees it. That longing for justice, closure, clarity, it has not been ignored. God has held every unsaid word, every unanswered prayer, every tear that no one else saw. Romans declares, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. What was taken from you will be returned in fullness. What was misunderstood will be made clear, and what was painful will not be wasted. You have not missed your moment. You have not been overlooked. You are in process. Sacred, holy, heaven-guarded process. Breathe. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of restoration. There is a soul connected to yours, not by accident, not by fantasy, but by divine covenant. Someone whose heart has been marked by the same fire that refined you. Someone who once didn't understand how to love you fully, but now carries the weight of that realization daily. They've walked through their own valley. They've wrestled with guilt, with silence, with spiritual consequences. And through it all, a deeper love for you has taken root in their spirit, one that is no longer driven by fear or pride. Heaven is revealing this not to rekindle illusions, but to show you the depth of what's been happening behind the veil. This person was not just part of your story, they were part of your shaping. And now, they are being shaped too. They think about you. They remember what was real. And more than that, they're beginning to understand what love truly means. This is not about going back to the old. This is about becoming new. Both of you. You haven't been forgotten by the one who hurt you. But more importantly, you haven't been forgotten by God. The same hands that held you in heartbreak are now holding them in transformation. This connection is still alive in the Spirit. When the time is right, you will not have to force it. You will not have to chase, convince, or beg for clarity. You'll know, and so will they. There will be a stillness in the moment, not the silence of confusion, but the calm of recognition. Your soul will whisper, "It's them," not because of familiarity in the face, but because of peace in your spirit. This time, it won't feel like chaos. It won't trigger your wounds. It won't leave you second-guessing your worth. Instead, you will feel safe, anchored, known. Philippians says, "And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." That is the kind of peace that will surround your connection. Not the thrill of intensity, but the quiet truth of belonging. They may not say all the right words immediately. They may not arrive in perfection. But they will come with presence, with humility, with eyes that see you, fully and finally. And you'll feel it in your chest. That soft assurance that you're not entering something new. You're returning to something divine. Watch for the peace. It is heaven's confirmation. Now that your spirit has received this word, it's time to respond in faith. Heaven moves when you move in agreement. There is power in your voice, and even more in your written word when it aligns with truth. So speak this aloud, even in a whisper. I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me. Say it again, slowly. Let it settle deep within your chest. Now type it in the comments. Not for me, but for you. As a public declaration that you are in alignment with divine timing, that you are open to healing, that you are no longer waiting in confusion, but expecting in faith. Your angels have been waiting for you to say yes, and this is your moment to release it into motion. Say it, type it, activate it. The moment you said yes, something shifted, not just in your heart, but in the spiritual realm around you. Because heaven doesn't delay when your spirit aligns with truth. You are no longer waiting. You are walking into it. This season is not about passively hoping. It's about spiritually stepping. The alignment is already in motion. The timelines are being reordered. The people, the places, the confirmations, they are being arranged with precision. What seemed stuck is loosening. What felt delayed is catching speed. And what once broke you is now becoming the foundation for your breakthrough. God is not just answering your prayers. He's honoring your process. Everything you've walked through has become a seed. And now, it's harvest time. Heaven is realigning the moments that looked like mistakes. The one who hurt you is being awakened. The love that felt lost is being rewritten, not by nostalgia, but by divine justice and truth. You may not see all the evidence yet, but the movement has begun, and your soul can feel it. Stay present. Stay expectant. Stay in posture. Because what's coming next is not just a return, it's a redemption. While you've been healing, they've been searching. While you've been surrendering your pain to God, they've been sitting in the consequences of their choices. They didn't walk away untouched. They didn't move on as easily as it may have seemed. They've been wrestling with a quiet ache, the kind that follows you even when you try to silence it, the kind that reminds you of what was real and what you lost. Your absence has spoken louder than your presence ever did. And now they're beginning to understand what they mishandled. They're feeling it, the weight of karma, the sting of regret, the echo of your love in places they can't escape. But even deeper, they've started praying. They've started asking God for another chance. Not just with you, but with themselves. They've been seeking growth. They've been facing their own shadows. They've had to sit in silence with the truth that they hurt someone they still love. And yes, they cried out for someone like you long before they met you. And now they realize they had what they asked for. Heaven has been working on them too. Because true love isn't one-sided. It's a mirrored healing, and the reflection is finally becoming clear. When this connection comes back around, whether through a conversation, a reconnection, or a moment of divine clarity, it may not look how you expected. And that's by design. They may not show up with polished words. They may not look like the person you pictured in your daydreams. But they will carry something deeper, something real. This is not about surface. This is about substance. Your angels want you to be open to what is true, not just what is familiar. Because sometimes, what we need most doesn't come in the package we imagined. 1 Samuel says, "For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart." God has been preparing their heart, and your spirit will know it before your eyes ever do. This is not about appearance. It's about assignment. Not about charm, but character. Stay open, not to the past, but to the possibility that heaven is sending something restored, something refined, something real, even if it looks different than you once expected. This was never just about romance. Heaven doesn't waste time writing stories that only satisfy emotions. It writes stories that carry eternal purpose. You were brought into their life not only to love, but to awaken something divine in them. And they were brought into yours not only to stir your heart, but to prepare you for destiny. This connection, when fully aligned and redeemed, becomes more than a relationship. It becomes a mission. Together, you are meant to break generational cycles, to raise the vibration of those around you, to carry love that heals, not just each other, but those who witness it. It's not about just getting back together. It's about going forward together, with God in the center and purpose in your hands. Ephesians speaks of this. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. What's coming isn't small. It's not just for comfort. It's for calling. It's not just for companionship. It's for covenant. You were never just preparing for a partner. You were being prepared for a purpose-paired promise. And now, heaven is bringing it into view. Now is the moment to seal this word in faith, to not just feel it, but to declare it. There is power when your voice and your agreement come together. Say this out loud, even if your voice trembles. I am aligned with heaven's timing. I am prepared and expecting divine fulfillment. Let those words flow through your chest. Let them rise like a banner over your healing, over your hope, over your future. Now type it below. Prepared and expecting, not as a wish, as a witness. You're not hoping blindly anymore. You're standing boldly. Heaven responds to faith, and your faith is a key. By writing it, you're not just engaging, you're activating. You're stepping into alignment with the divine movement already set in motion. Say it again. Prepared and expecting. Let every word break delay. Let every word open doors. This is your response to prophecy, and heaven is listening. Beloved, this is already on its way to you. Not someday, not maybe, but in divine timing, it is unfolding even now. You are not being teased by heaven. You are being trusted with truth. What you feel is real. What you've heard in your spirit is not imagination. It's impartation. And the confirmation you've needed, This is it. Let that settle in your soul. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are being positioned. God is not only writing a love story, He's writing a testimony, one that includes healing, redemption, justice, and purpose. Let go of fear. Release the need to understand everything. Trust the one who has seen the end from the beginning. Isaiah says, "Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it?" Let this word be your answer. Let this be the sign your soul has prayed for. You are walking into divine restoration, and you will not walk alone. This is your confirmation. Let it anchor you in peace. Let it guide you in faith. And let it begin now.